I get asked this a lot. How do you recognize? How do you know the signs are from a loved one? And more importantly, how do you work out what they mean? As I speak, your loved ones are communicating with you right now. Their signs are everywhere, but if you don't know what to look for, then they can be easily missed. So let's run through a list of signs that, even as I'm talking to you right now, you can actually be receiving. First of all, dreams. A perfect opportunity for a loved one to communicate with you. A visitation, as they call it, from a loved one will be a very comforting experience, and not to be confused with a nightmare, which is ultimately a result of eating too much cheese or watching a late night horror movie. So ultimately, a dream from a loved one, a visitation, will be a pleasant experience. Also, you'll have this feeling when you wake up and knowing that you actually communicate with your loved one. So I do recommend that you keep a pen and a notepad beside your bed. That's right. The departed loved one may also have revealed a piece of information that you wouldn't have had a logical way of knowing otherwise. So that's why it's so important to have that pen, a piece of paper, and immediately write down whatever you remembered in the dream. That watch for signs is a feeling, a knowing. And what do I mean by that? A feeling, a knowing. Well, you're a lot more intuitive than you give yourself credit for. You may simply feel the person's soul is around you, or they may just pop into your head. I always recommend doing an activity which relaxes the brain. Some people call this a meditation, but a nice walk in the country or having a bath or even painting a wall, the more you can relax and allow your unconscious mind to be still, the more likely that you will indeed receive a spiritual communication. For many, they just have a knowing that their loved ones are around them. Sometimes this feeling is accompanied by goosebumps, a breeze, a warm sensation. Have the confidence that your loved ones are indeed around you. Next one is objects, symbols. After someone passes away, you may notice specific objects or shapes are everywhere. Signs are not limited to feathers, birds, or pennies. They can actually be something more significant, personal to just you and that person. For example, my friend and I had a private joke about goats. Whenever I would think about him, nearly always I would see the image of a goat, from a car bumper sticker to somebody having a tattoo of a goat. Actually, once I saw a goat walking down the street of a busy city. That's right. Signs can be validated when something strange happens which wouldn't be normal, just like the goat walking down a busy city street. Next one is numbers. You will know it is a sign if you keep seeing the same number. And the number represents an important date, time, or has a certain significance to your loved one in heaven. Other numbers also are important, such as 111, indicating a spiritual awakening. Next one is music. Music is a very powerful sign. You will know it's a sign if the lyrics relate to your life, or if the song was a special song between you and your loved one. Also, watch out for mobile phone ringtones going off around you, just as maybe you are thinking about that person in heaven. People also is a great sign as signposts. People you meet in your everyday life can bring you messages or be sent to you by your loved ones in spirit. If a person comes into your life at the perfect time by acting on their own inspiration, the person may not realize they were heaven sent. But if you ask them how they entered your life, they may say something like, I just felt this unexplainable urge to talk to you, message you, or even help you. It could also be someone at the bus stop, a friendly helper, a friend, or even a soulmate. People follow nudges of inspiration, and sometimes that inspiration can be heaven sent. Strangers may be inspired to talk to you. So when this happens, do be open-minded. Unless, of course, they are trying to sell you double glazing. So to communicate with your loved ones in spirit, I recommend talking out loud to them or in your own inner thoughts. Ask them questions. Also, maybe write down your thoughts to them in a notebook.